Once a luminous star in Hollywood, Grace Kelly's life took an unexpected turn when she became Princess of Monaco. Her transition from the silver screen to royal duties was marked by the weight of expectations and the challenges of her new role. Many believed she had left behind a glamorous career, but the truth was far more complex. The allure of her Hollywood past lingered, and whispers of her return to acting persisted. James Stewart's words echoed the sentiment of many. Grace was not just a figure of fantasy. She embodied something real and profound. However, the fairy tale took a tragic twist. The pressures of royal life and the loss of her former independence weighed heavily on her. Despite her commitment to her new responsibilities, the longing for her former life never truly faded. The tragic car accident that claimed her life in 1982 shocked the world, leaving behind a legacy of beauty, talent, and the haunting question of what could have been. Grace Kelly's story is not just one of glamour and royalty. It is a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the often unseen struggles behind a public persona. Grace Patricia Kelly was born on November 12, 1929, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, into a family of considerable means and influence. Her father, John B. Kelly Sr., was a prominent figure in the community, known for his ownership of a successful brick contracting company that amassed millions. His legacy extended beyond business. He was an accomplished athlete, having won 3 gold medals in rowing during the 1920 and 1924 Olympic Games. This athletic achievement not only highlighted his personal dedication to sports, but also set a high standard for excellence within the family. Grace's mother, Margaret Kelly, was equally impressive. A talented swimmer, she made history as the first coach of the women's athletic team at the University of Pennsylvania. The combination of her parents' athletic talents and business acumen created an environment rich in ambition and high expectations. Grace was the third of 4 children, growing up alongside her 2 older siblings, Margaret and John Jr., and her younger sister, Elizabeth. The Kelly household was filled with love and support, while also being deeply embedded in Philadelphia's social elite. This upbringing in a prominent family greatly influenced Grace's character and aspirations, paving the way for her future endeavors in the world of acting and beyond. Margaret Kelly played an instrumental role in shaping her daughter's values and interests. Known for her determination and athleticism, Margaret brought a strong sense of discipline to the Kelly household. She encouraged all her children to participate in physical activities, and her own success as a swimming coach set an example of excellence. Grace admired her mother's abilities and shared a close bond with her, particularly in their mutual involvement in local fashion events, where they modeled together at charity shows. These early experiences in the spotlight foreshadowed Grace's future career, though at the time, her parents viewed it as an innocent pastime. However, Margaret Kelly's influence extended beyond these appearances, instilling in Grace a strong sense of responsibility and propriety, which would later become key traits in her role as a princess. Margaret's encouragement and guidance helped Grace develop a sense of confidence and poise that would serve her well in her later life, both on screen and in her royal duties. In 1929, Grace's father built the family's magnificent home at 391 Henry Avenue in the affluent East Falls neighborhood of Philadelphia. This home, a symbol of their wealth and status, became the backdrop of Grace's early life. Surrounded by privilege, she had access to the best educational opportunities available. Grace attended Ravenhill Academy, a prestigious Catholic girls' school known for its rigorous academics and strong emphasis on character development. This upbringing in such an environment emphasized both social grace and intellectual achievement, which prepared her for the poised, elegant demeanor that would later captivate audiences worldwide. Even at a young age, Grace displayed an imaginative spirit. She frequently participated in local fashion events alongside her mother and sister, modeling for charity fundraisers. These activities helped her develop an early comfort with being in the public eye, a trait that would serve her well in her future endeavors. Her parents noticed her creative inclinations, but initially dismissed them as childish dreams. From an early age, Grace Kelly showed a deep passion for performing. She often expressed to her family her dreams of becoming a famous actress. While her aspirations were seen as charming, her family, particularly her father, did not take them seriously. John Kelly held traditional views regarding career choices and believed that acting was not a suitable profession for a woman of Grace's background. He famously remarked that being an actress was only a step above being a prostitute, reflecting the societal stigma attached to women pursuing careers in Hollywood during that era. Despite her father's harsh judgments, Grace remained undeterred in her ambitions. Her love for acting only intensified, leading her to participate in school plays and dance performances. Her commitment to her craft did not go unnoticed. Her teachers and peers recognized her talent, and she was voted most likely to become a star in her high school yearbook. These formative experiences laid the groundwork for her eventual success in the entertainment industry. After graduating from high school, Grace faced a significant setback when she was rejected by Bennington College in July 1947 due to her low mathematics scores. This rejection could have been disheartening, but Grace remained resilient. Determined to pursue her dream of becoming an actress, she moved to New York and enrolled in the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, one of the most prestigious acting schools in the country. Her decision to attend the academy was met with resistance from her parents, who had hoped she would choose a more traditional path. Nevertheless, they agreed to pay for her first year's tuition and expenses, allowing her to stay at the Barbizon Hotel for Women, a respectable residence for young women pursuing careers in the arts. While attending the academy, Grace took on modeling jobs to support herself. She appeared in advertisements for Old Gold cigarettes, among other products, showcasing her striking beauty and poise. These early experiences helped her develop the skills and confidence she would need to succeed in the competitive world of show business. After graduating from the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in 1949, Grace Kelly sought to make a name for herself in the theater world. She had her sights set on Broadway, but success was elusive. Despite her undeniable beauty and grace, she struggled to land significant roles due to her lack of a strong voice, which was considered essential for stage performances. Grace's vocal limitations made it difficult for her to stand out in auditions, and she faced numerous rejections. However, her famous uncle, George Kelly, a Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright, encouraged her to keep trying. His support and guidance were instrumental in keeping Grace motivated during these early, challenging years. In 1951, Grace finally got a break when she landed a minor role in the film 14 Hours. While the role itself was small, it brought her to the attention of Hollywood insiders, particularly actor Gary Cooper, who noticed her on set. His admiration for her beauty and elegance would later play a crucial role in advancing her career. Gary Cooper's endorsement of Grace Kelly was a significant turning point in her career. In 1952, she was cast in the Western film High Noon, a role that would help launch her into stardom. At just 22 years old, Grace found herself acting alongside the much older Cooper, who was 50. Their on-screen chemistry was undeniable, and Grace's performance as Amy Kane, the Quaker wife of Marshall Will Kane, showcased her talent and depth as an actress. In the film, her character is a pacifist who desperately tries to convince her husband to abandon his perilous role as a lawman. This portrayal resonated with both critics and audiences, earning her praise and recognition in a competitive industry. Although she was still relatively unknown at the time, this role was a catalyst for her career. The film itself achieved great success, and its popularity opened many doors for Grace in Hollywood. Over the next few years, she would secure increasingly prominent roles, solidifying her status as one of the most sought-after actresses of her time. In 1953, Grace Kelly was cast alongside two of Hollywood's biggest stars, Clark Gable and Ava Gardner, in the adventure film Mogambo. Filmed partly on location in Kenya, the movie provided Grace with an opportunity to showcase her versatility as an actress. Her performance was widely praised, and she received her first Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress, though she did not win. However, she did win a Golden Globe for the role, solidifying her reputation as a rising star. This success led to a 7-year contract with MGM, where she would continue to build her career. MGM had a policy of lending their stars to other studios, and Grace's growing popularity made her an attractive commodity for other filmmakers. Her next major project came when she was lent to Warner Brothers to work with Alfred Hitchcock on Dial M for Murder in 1953, a partnership that would prove to be one of the most significant of her career. This collaboration highlighted her ability to captivate audiences and further established her as a prominent figure in Hollywood. Grace's work with Hitchcock continued with Rear Window in 1954, where she played a fashion icon embroiled in a suspenseful plot. Each role she took on showcased her talent and charm, allowing her to leave a lasting impact on the film industry. Her performances not only earned her critical acclaim, but also endeared her to fans around the world. As she navigated through her career, Grace Kelly became synonymous with elegance and sophistication, making her one of the most recognizable actresses of her time. Alfred Hitchcock had initially sought to cast either Deborah Kerr or Olivia de Havilland in Dial M for Murder, but both actresses were unavailable at the time. This led him to select Grace Kelly, which marked the start of a remarkable partnership between the actress and the renowned director. The film was completed in just 26 days and achieved both critical and commercial success, with Grace's performance receiving particular acclaim. Following the triumph of Dial M for Murder, Hitchcock chose Grace for what would become one of his most celebrated films, Rear Window, in 1954. In this gripping suspense thriller, Grace starred alongside James Stewart, portraying the elegant and sophisticated girlfriend of Stewart's character, a photographer who is confined to his apartment due to an injury. The chemistry between Grace and Stewart was palpable, contributing to the film's status as one of the biggest hits of the year. Grace's poise and charm in the role solidified her reputation as one of Hollywood's leading ladies. Her collaboration with Hitchcock would continue, further enhancing both their careers. On the set of Rear Window, Grace Kelly's flirtatious personality shone brightly, captivating not only her co-star James Stewart, but the entire crew. Their playful relationship was marked by light-hearted teasing, which seemed to invigorate Stewart, even though he was married. At 50 years old, he found genuine enjoyment in Grace's charm and wit, often laughing at her playful banter. This dynamic added a layer of warmth to their on-screen chemistry, making their performances all the more engaging. Despite her flirtations, Grace maintained a strong sense of professionalism. She was dedicated to her craft and delivered a performance that was both captivating and nuanced, showcasing her remarkable talent as an actress. Alfred Hitchcock, known for his demanding nature, recognized Grace's ability to blend her natural allure with the intensity required for her role. The success of Rear Window not only highlighted her skills, but also solidified her status in Hollywood, quickly making her one of the most sought-after actresses of her generation. In 1954, Grace Kelly achieved a significant milestone in her acting career by winning the Academy Award for Best Actress for her role in The Country Girl. In this film, she portrayed the long-suffering wife of an alcoholic singer, played by Bing Crosby. This performance marked a notable shift from the glamorous characters she had previously embodied, allowing her to demonstrate her range as an actress. The role required her to delve into more emotionally complex and demanding territory, showcasing her ability to convey deep feelings and struggles. Despite her talent, Grace faced challenges when it came to securing the role. MGM, her home studio, initially resisted loaning her to Paramount for the film. They had other plans for her career and were reluctant to let her take on a part that diverged from her established image. However, Grace was determined to take on this opportunity. She was willing to threaten her career at MGM by stating she would quit if they did not agree to the loan. Her strong conviction ultimately led MGM to relent, allowing her to proceed with the project. Grace's performance in The Country Girl garnered critical acclaim, earning her the highest honor in the film industry. This victory not only highlighted her acting capabilities, but also solidified her status as one of the most talented actresses of her time. She proved that she could tackle roles that were both glamorous and gritty with equal finesse, expanding her legacy in Hollywood. Her Oscar win remains a testament to her dedication and talent, showcasing her ability to transcend the limitations often placed on actresses in the film industry during that era. Following her Oscar win, Grace's next project was Green Fire, an adventure film set in Colombia. Unfortunately, the film was a disappointment both critically and commercially. The difficult filming conditions, which included working in a dirty, uncomfortable environment, took a toll on the cast and crew. At one point, part of the crew was even shipwrecked during production. Grace later described the experience as miserable, telling famed gossip columnist Hedda Hopper that the film was shot in just 10 days, and that it was one of the worst experiences of her career. Despite this setback, Grace's career continued to flourish. In 1955, she was once again lent out by MGM, this time to Paramount for what would become one of the most significant films of her life, To Catch a Thief. This film, which was directed by Alfred Hitchcock and co-starred Cary Grant, marked a turning point in Grace's career, both professionally and personally. The collaboration with Hitchcock showcased her talents and solidified her status as a leading actress in Hollywood. The film's glamour and intrigue revitalized her image, allowing her to move beyond the disappointment of her previous project. While filming To Catch a Thief on the beautiful French Riviera, Grace Kelly found herself invited to the prestigious Cannes Film Festival. It was at this glamorous event that she met Prince Rainier III of Monaco, a meeting that would significantly alter the trajectory of her life. Initially, Grace was not particularly eager to meet the prince, as her primary focus was on her flourishing acting career. However, as she spent time with him, she began to notice his charm and charisma, which piqued her interest in a life that extended beyond the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. After returning to the United States, Grace and Rainier started a private correspondence that blossomed into a romantic relationship. Their letters were filled with affection and longing, bridging the gap between their two worlds. In December of 1955, Rainier made a significant visit to Grace's family in Philadelphia, where he proposed marriage. This engagement captured the imagination of the public, as it represented a fairy tale union between a beloved Hollywood star and a European prince. The world watched with bated breath as their love story unfolded, marking a new chapter in both their lives that would resonate for years to come. Grace Kelly's final Hollywood film was High Society, released in 1956. This musical comedy featured her alongside legendary stars Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra, showcasing her charm, elegance, and remarkable versatility as an actress. At just 26 years old, Grace made the bold decision to retire from acting, choosing to embrace her new life as the Princess of Monaco. Her departure from the film industry came at a time when her career was flourishing, having starred in only 11 films over 5 years, yet leaving an indelible mark on Hollywood. This decision was not just a career shift, it was a transformation into royalty, a role that came with new responsibilities and expectations. Grace's retirement was both admirable and intriguing, adding to the allure of her life story. It marked the end of her cinematic journey and the beginning of a new chapter filled with the duties and privileges of being a princess. Her legacy in film remains strong, as fans and film historians continue to celebrate her contributions to cinema. On April 18 and 19, 1956, Grace Kelly and Prince Rainier of Monaco were united in a splendid 2-day wedding ceremony that captured the attention of the world. The first day featured a civil ceremony, while the second day showcased a grand religious service attended by dignitaries from numerous countries. This momentous occasion was broadcast live on television, reaching an audience of over 30 million viewers, making it one of the most watched events of its time. Grace's wedding gown, a stunning creation designed by MGM's costume department, was a generous gift from the studio in exchange for her release from a 7-year contract. The gown, known for its intricate lace and elegant silhouette, has since become one of the most iconic wedding dresses in history. After the wedding, Grace and Rainier embarked on a luxurious 7-week honeymoon aboard the prince's yacht, exploring the beautiful Mediterranean. Despite the fairy tale appearance of their life together, the couple faced considerable pressure, particularly the expectation to produce an heir, which was crucial for securing the future of Monaco's royal family. Grace and Rainier welcomed their first child, Princess Caroline, on January 23, 1957, just 9 months after their wedding. Their second child, Prince Albert II, was born on March 14, 1958, ensuring the continuation of the Grimaldi dynasty. In 1965, Grace gave birth to their third child, Princess Stephanie. Despite the pressures of royal life, Grace was deeply committed to her children and took an active role in their upbringing. She made sure they spent time with her family in the United States, particularly at the Kelly family home in Philadelphia. Grace's role as a mother was one of her most cherished responsibilities, and she worked hard to provide her children with a sense of normalcy, despite the intense public scrutiny they faced as members of the royal family. Raising her children in the spotlight was not easy, and gossip magazines frequently published stories about the children's lives, particularly their romantic relationships as they grew older. Grace navigated these challenges with grace and determination, always prioritizing her children's happiness and well-being. Throughout the years, Grace Kelly was offered numerous film roles, but she consistently turned them down in favor of her duties as a princess. In 1962, Alfred Hitchcock offered her the lead role in his film Marnie. Although Grace initially accepted, she ultimately withdrew from the project after the citizens of Monaco expressed their disapproval. Grace explained that her obligations as a princess and mother took precedence over her acting career, and she did not want to disappoint the people of Monaco by returning to Hollywood. The role of Marnie eventually went to actress Tippi Hedren. Grace's decision to turn down the offer was seen as a reflection of her dedication to her new life as a royal, but it also marked the end of her acting career. Though she would never return to the screen, Grace remained an iconic figure in both Hollywood and royal circles. Her legacy continued to resonate, showcasing the balance between personal commitment and professional opportunity, highlighting the choices she made for her family and her role as a beloved princess. As Princess of Monaco, Grace Kelly dedicated herself to her new role with the same grace and professionalism that had defined her acting career. She took her responsibilities seriously and worked hard to win the respect and love of the principality's citizens. Over time, the people of Monaco came to appreciate Grace's commitment to their well-being, and she became a beloved figure in the country. Grace was actively involved in charity work, supporting causes related to the arts, children, and education. She also worked to promote Monaco's cultural and social development, helping to modernize the small nation while preserving its unique traditions. Grace's ability to balance her public duties with her private life made her an admired role model, not only for the people of Monaco, but for women around the world. Her elegance, compassion, and dedication to her family and her adopted country earned her a lasting place in the hearts of those who knew her. On September 13, 1982, Grace Kelly and her daughter Princess Stephanie were involved in a devastating car accident that would tragically end Grace's life. They were driving from their family retreat at Roc Angel, located just outside of Monaco in the mountains above the principality. During the drive, Grace suffered a stroke while at the wheel. As they approached a dangerous hairpin curve known locally as Devil's Curve, Grace lost control of the vehicle, which began to swerve uncontrollably. Despite Stephanie's desperate attempts to stop the car, they plunged over a 100-foot embankment. Grace was pulled from the wreckage, still unconscious, and rushed to the hospital in Monaco, which had been named after her. Unfortunately, Grace's injuries were severe, and she passed away the following day on September 14, 1982, at the age of 52. Her sudden death shocked the world, and tributes poured in from across the globe, mourning the loss of one of Hollywood's brightest stars and Monaco's beloved princess. Grace Kelly was laid to rest at the St. Nicholas Cathedral in Monaco, the same place where she had married Prince Rainier 26 years earlier. Her funeral was a significant event, attended by dignitaries, celebrities, and the people of Monaco, all of whom came to pay their respects to the woman who had touched so many lives through her talent, kindness, and grace. The atmosphere was filled with sorrow as Prince Rainier, devastated by the loss of his beloved wife, mourned deeply. He never remarried and continued to honor Grace's memory throughout the remainder of his life. His love for her remained evident until his passing in 2005 at the age of 81. When he was buried beside Grace in the Grimaldi family vault. Grace's legacy as both an actress and a princess endures to this day. She is remembered not only for her beauty and talent, but also for her deep sense of duty and commitment to her family and her adopted country. Her life, though tragically cut short, continues to inspire future generations. Grace Kelly's life was a blend of glamour and complexity. After her marriage to Prince Rainier III of Monaco, she faced the challenge of adapting to her royal duties while grappling with the loss of her Hollywood career. The transition was not as smooth as many imagined. She became a symbol of elegance and grace, but behind the scenes, she battled the pressures of her new role. The expectations placed on her were immense, and the freedom she once enjoyed as an actress faded away. Despite her dedication to her responsibilities, there remained a yearning for her past life, a life filled with creativity and artistic expression. As time went on, the whispers of a potential return to acting grew louder, highlighting the unresolved tension within her. Tragically, her life was cut short in a car accident, leaving a legacy that is both beautiful and haunting. Grace Kelly's story serves as a reminder of the hidden struggles that often accompany fame and the fragility of life itself.